Tony, good evening to you first.
Good evening.
Quite a big weekend for the footy, really. Plenty of cup action again, and some interesting and important matches in the second tier, which we'll have a quick talk about that first, in fact, because we're going to be really going in depth on JCK Division 2 in Football Focus this evening, because you've been doing a bit of number crunching, haven't you?
Yeah, just been having a little look, because I keep saying it's like a game of tennis. They're serving for the match, and no one, I've just been talking to Sam about it, no one seems to be sort of saying, right, this is going to be our title and this is going to be our promotion spot. And when you look at some of the games that the top teams have got to play, there's some real tough fixtures there, so there's more twisted turns in this. So yeah, I've got some stats for us to go through on Football Focus, because I think it's about time we sat down and really looked in depth at this JCK Limited Division 2 title chase, because we are getting to the business end. The games are starting to run out for the clubs. With Castletown only a couple to play, but Foxdale 4, Onken have got 4, Pulley 3, and when you look at Marown, they've still got, I think it's 7 to play, so a lot of football for some of those clubs, and also somewhere along the line we've got to try and slip the Paul Henry in as well.
So that will be our feature on Friday Football Focus, but there's plenty of other important stuff to be checking out, and first off, well, I think we'll do Premier League and Hospital Cup in Friday Sport, if that's all right with you, Tony.
Yeah,
starting
no
with the Hospital Cup, of course. And this is a big day at Ballafletcher, because you've got the two matches going on simultaneously on Corinthians and Douglas Royals pitches. In fact, it's going to get even busier, because there's going to be a rugby match for part of it going on as well, isn't there? But so it's going to be a bit chocker at Ballafletcher tomorrow, which, apart from the parking aspect, I suppose is a really good thing to see. Big matches here. Well, certainly one which might be quite tough to call on the date. St George's, I mean, no disrespect to Douglas Athletic, but St George's on paper have certainly got the easier of the semi-finals here, proven by the fact that they actually thumped their opponents 9-0 recently as well. That's
right, they played each other midweek on Tuesday, and it's a bit of a taster for them, and they knew it was going to be tough because they'd been there before. Douglas Athletic down at their ground, was it last season? St George's scored 14. So they know that they're a formidable football team, and this is going to be played on Corinthians pitch, because it's just the way it's worked out. And it was something we tried last year, Ed, where we just thought, let's try something different. And with it being the Hospital Cup, you couldn't get any closer to the hospital. And also what we did last year, and it went down really well, was we take a gate. It's £3 in, but every single penny goes to one or two charities which will be chosen after the event. And also, you know, the Corinthians and Douglas Royal, the T-Hatch there, they'll sort of take out what expenditure they've had, and then whatever profit is made from that, that's donated as well. So it's absolutely fantastic to, I think, Manx football to allow sort of 4 teams to play a big part in giving a couple of charities, or maybe 3 charities, some money. But 2 good games, and as you say, the first one, St George's against Douglas Athletic, possibly a bit one-sided, but I remember watching Douglas Athletic last year at St George's towards the end of the season. They kept it really tight until sort of the end of sort of normal time, and it was just one of those that you've just got to stay as compact as you can, because St George's is in great form at the moment. When you see the amount of goals, Johnny Myers was in formidable form on Tuesday. Johnny doesn't seem to sort of stop plugging away and scoring goals, and he's found this new sort of midfield role as well. So he's done well. Kieran McNulty's in there, Chris Bass, you've got Joey Morlin as well, and you've got Frank Jones, who's on fire to add to it. So it's going to be a real tough afternoon for them.
The other match, which may prove more intriguing, is Rushden United against Corinthians. Corinthians, again, off the back of a big 9-0 win in the week. They've recovered their form since that bit of a blip that they had, where sort of St George's overtake them at the top. And Rushden United have got back on track a bit as well, haven't they?
Well, they have, and I think with Rushden, dropped points against Old Boys midweek. I think that was a disappointment for them, 2-2. So that allowed Corinthians to go into second spot. They've played a couple of games more, but Corinthians do have some tough fixtures to come up. They've got to play St George's twice in the league. But Corinthians won 9-0 against Braddon. They've been scoring for fun. Sean Doyle hopefully is fit tomorrow. But you've got to remember back 2-3 weeks ago, midweek game where Rushden defeated Corinthians comfortably 4-1. Corinthians weren't at it in the first half. They got it right in the second half, played a lot better. But it just depends how it goes on the day, because when Corinthians played Rushden at Croyt Lowy, is probably the best they've played all season. and beat them 2-0. So it's one of those. We'll just have to wait and see how it all unfolds. But that game will be played on Douglas Royal's pitch, because obviously we couldn't allow Corinthians to play on theirs. I know they're similar, but they're two good pitches. It doesn't matter. All we want is two good games of football. But it's the experience. Last year, the weather was absolutely incredible because it was shorts on, sunburn a lot. We're not going to get that tomorrow, I don't think. But it's something that we want to try out. And all I can say to people is, with the parking, yes, it's going to be busy. We've got the hospital car park to spill in. Please do not park in the road. That'll be coned off to keep it clear for any emergencies or for the buses. But there's an agreement sort of there that the hospital use our car park, or the sports club's car park during the week and everything. It's good. And then at the weekends, their car park's empty and people can filter in there. So it'll work well. But with the rugby, and then there's a second rugby game on afterwards as well. There's a bit of a memorial game on, I think. The bar will be open. There's plenty of food on there. Come and enjoy two great games. And, a few people have said, why have you altered the kick-off times for the league games to 2 o'clock? Just to allow the players to go up and experience the atmosphere and what it's about, and see the second half of the most important 2 games in these 4 clubs sort of season to get through to the Hospital Cup final.
How do you think that one's going to go?
Don't know. It's going to be on the day. I think Danny McMahon's got a big selection problem because Sean Dore's been out and Steve Whitley's been in great form. Ryan Gartland's come in and started scoring goals for fun. He scored a couple, I think it was, last night in the Cal Cup as well. My heart says Corinthians, but I know what Russian are capable of, and with people like Jamie Johnson, Josh Kelly, you've also got Mikey Williams in there. They're really strong, and Cameron Lee and Tom Smith. Tom Smith, what form he's in at the moment is absolutely incredible. But I'm not too sure if Darren Kane's fit. He pulled a hamstring, but we'll wait and see. But Adam Killian's in good form in goal as well, so it's going to be difficult. I'd love the Whites to win it, but they know they've got a game on their hands.
All right, we'll have a quick look at Canada Life Premier League as well, because again, there's some intriguing ties here. Let's see, I've just brought the league up on the screen as well, just to see. So we've got let's see, Braddon currently 11th place, third from bottom. They're looking relatively comfortable because Colby have played far more matches than them. Ramsey are on the same number, so they're not done and dusted yet, but
not quite.
Colby
are down because they played the 24th,
yeah,
so they're
24,
down.
Yep.
The other 2 teams are Ramsey and Braddon. Braddon have got a chance with points, possibly against Douglas Athletic. I think that might be on next Tuesday. But when you look at Ramsey's outstanding fixtures, they're really tough, Ed, and I just can't see them getting points from anywhere. And I think that big game that they had last Saturday was the game that either club had to win for safety.
Yeah.
Braddon got it. So I think Ramsey are going to really struggle to stay up, and it's a shame really because some really good young players coming through.
Braddon have got a tough match tomorrow. In fact, St John's again. St John's has been doing well recently, including that big victory against local rivals Peel 5-1, which none of us really saw coming, did we?
No, and that's what they're all about. St John's. They seem to make the hard look easy and the easy look hard, and I don't know what it's all about. And sort of last week in the cup, I know they went down to 10 players, but St George's really did shine past them, and they just had nothing to offer as well. But midweek they bounced back. I know there was a few changes, younger players were brought in and did quite well, so that's another selection problem that St John's are going to have. I don't know if Nick Lung's back. He's important for them at the back, but Sam Ingham's there, Eric Kelly's there, Rhys Oates will cause problems up front, but Braddon, I think, will find this one a bit tough. St John's are a really good side. They're a top 6 side, as where Braddon. It doesn't tell no lies, the league tables and the points that they've got. I think it'll be a game for St John's to take.
Peel, 4th place. They play Old Boys, who are in 5th. Not really much can change with this match because Peel are 6 behind Russian, albeit having played 3 matches fewer, and Old Boys are 8 points behind Peel. Yeah. So there's nothing going to change here in terms of the league. But again, 2 teams that on their day, very, very good.
Excellent, and I've seen again up the Old Boys side that lost to St George's. I think it was 8-0, and they struggled at the bowl. And I know some of the players are available for the Junior Cup as well, which is the following day. I'm not saying that they'll be rested, but Old Boys have got that game against Laxey at Glen Road, and I don't want to be cruel to Laxey, but it should be a little bit easier for them than it could have been. so they might just miss one or two out. But with Callum Stewart there, Craig Stewart, Robbie Ward got sent off midweek, but he'll be eligible to play this weekend. They've got some really good players there, and as it showed against Russian, had 2-2. Russian was second in the league up until that night, and with Peel, they bounced back last week after that really poor performance the game before, and Steve Faulkner's changed things around a little bit as well. And Peel are a good side. I think Peel will beat Old Boys. There's always a good atmosphere at Peel in the Shed. I'm sure he'll be singing to cheer their players on. So I've got to go for Peel to beat Old Boys.
Okay, and they're creeping ever more towards that total of 24 matches as well. I mean, playing that tomorrow, they'll both be on to 20, so that's good for you as well, and good for the fixtures. And the other match in the Premier League tomorrow is Laxey against St Mary's. Laxey currently in 9th place, having played 19 matches for 22 points. St Mary's 2 places above them in 7th. They've played 22 matches, but they're also 11 points ahead.
Yeah. I think the problem is with Laxey at the moment is defensively they're conceding too many goals midweek. Again, they conceded too many, and Paul has just got to try and sort things out. And it's a shame really, because Paul Callow has given the young lads the chance. They've been there. I watched them against Corinthians, and there's some really good players there, but 1 or 2 of those leave to university this year, so that's going to leave another hole. I know they've got a good under-18s team, so hopefully some of them can filter through, but I think they're pretty well already in, which the players are had good experience there. But St Mary's, I watched them recently in the cup game, and they're a good side, and St Mary's have just got to get the ball up front to the boys who can score the goals. Midfield, they work hard. Brian Crellin will get stuck in and close things down, but Priestnall, Crawley, also Jordan up front has got so much skill that they can make it really difficult. But I think against Laxey, St Mary's should win.
Okay, Tony, thanks. That's where we'll leave the footy for now, because we're going to go in depth with JCK Division 2 on Football Focus. I think we just got a text in as well from someone here saying good luck to the referees going away this weekend to Everton to referee a selection of Academy League games against Nottingham Forest.
Yep. Yeah, we'll try and keep in touch with them and see what's going on. I think Graham is going. I forgot his surname at the moment. I know James Sherry's going, and I can't remember who the third one was going. So yeah, hopefully we'll try and keep in touch and find out how they're getting on. But what an experience that'll be.
Absolutely. Okay.